Hi guys, it's Drew here, and I'm here today to do my magical Q&A session, which is a weekly session where you guys ask me questions and I answer them about my magical practice or anything to do with my spiritual path. And this week, I'm going to be talking about game magic, or gaming magic specifically. So just a heads up, I am fairly new to games in general. I used to play a lot of games on the PlayStation when I was a teenager. I capped that at Kingdom Hearts, and then I sort of just left the whole gaming world in my early 20s. I'm not quite that old yet, I'm 27. And it took me a while to find something that I really like because primarily I'm a writer and I live in that world. And most of my magical practice is based around things like divination. And over the past couple of years, I've honed in my practice to identifying as a chaos magician. So that's a little heads up. So I asked questions, and I got a question from the beautiful witchy attitude at over on Instagram. You can go check out her page. It's absolutely amazing. Like, she is definitely inspiring me this week. But she asked, gaming magic sounds interesting. What does it entail? So I thought I would just sort of talk a little bit about what it means to me. And then over the next couple of weeks, because I'm thinking about making a series because this topic is so huge and there's so many things I want to talk about, I'm going to go into different things. So, like, I'm going to be talking next week about broader and specific goals when working with gaming magic. But just for today, I'm going to try really hard to stick to one question and one topic because, yes, I can ramble. Okay, so I have notes to make it a little bit more clearer. So I'll let you know what I put down for when I was journaling about two things in specific. What is magic to me? Which I think when you're coming to any kind of system or new system, pantheon, practice, a really good thing to do is to come back to self and ask yourself, what does magic actually mean to you? Because it shifts and evolves and is constantly changing. And what it meant to me when I first started and identified as a witch is completely different to what it is now. And especially when sort of merging the pop culture side of my practice and now the gaming magic, it is really starting to change what it is to me. So I sat down, I got pen and paper, and I thought about what are the core things that magic means to me. So, and why do I do it? So I do it to grow and to affect personal and global change. A lot of the times, my magic is focused on self development because that is a really important aspect of my own personal growth through recovery. Um, and it helps me to really have a lot of self worth, remember that I have worth, and really sort of trust in myself and trust in my abilities as a creative person to be able to create the life that I really want to live. Likewise, to evolve through self and cosmic development. As a witch, I believe in a many number of systems and paradigms and realities. I've probably mentioned on this channel before or on my YouTube that I have interesting beliefs about sort of alternative realities and parallel worlds, which is definitely why gaming magic appealed to me, and to reshape and recreate my narrative and to live a creative life. So one of the reasons that I was drawn to Dungeons and Dragons is because it really is a co-creative process between yourself and other people, community. The community is huge. It has been running, I guess you can say, since the 1980s. I'm going to do a little bit more about that later, but it's primarily story driven, character driven, and it's a journey. It very much mirrors a lot of the aspects of the magical journey as well, in terms of being solitary, uh, but also in terms of having a community and tribe that you are growing with and changing with, involving with, and leveling up. So that was really what appealed to me to begin with to start my gaming magic journey with the D&D system. So, in saying that, I thought about what is gaming magic to me. So, whenever I start a practice or take on a new system, I need to also know what that system means to me. Have I experienced it before? Are there any inspiration that I can take from other people? Have people done it before? Because a lot of the times, when we're doing our magical stuff and we're doing solitary practice, we think, oh my god, this is an amazing idea. I wonder if anyone's ever thought of it before. Um, then we go online, we type stuff up, and we're like, yes, people have done it before. The thing about pop culture and pop culture in terms of gaming magic is that not a lot of people talk about it. Not as much as any other system. There are definitely some great articles which I will link below because this is going on Patreon. I will definitely share some resources below if you want to check them out. But it is kind of hard sometimes to find other people who are doing it. And when you do, it's very exciting and very inspirational and really does make you feel like you're part of a community that is practicing both magic and gaming, two things that are absolutely fantastic. So for me, I wrote what is gaming magic to me? Magic that incorporates and merges popular culture with your own magical identity and path to create an individual spiritual journey. It combines inner and outer world manifestation and experimentation for self development and growth, using the game's creative systems, their built in systems, and your own guiding magical practice and principles. So that's a bit of a mouthful. So, what I really mean is that when I come to gaming magic and what gaming magic means to me is that I am taking a created system, something that is created not by me, by someone else, and that definitely has a community as well because I feel like part of that is energy. So, for example, I'm taking Dungeons and Dragons, I'm taking everything that this game is. I'm taking the characters, I'm taking the worlds, I'm taking the magic, I'm taking the spells, abilities, anything you can think of that is part of that system. I am using that system and I can do it alone, just using the system by itself, because games like D&D and Pathfinder are so well loved, and there are so many handbooks and homebrewery, like homemade campaigns and characters and all that sort of stuff. Like you can go nuts. Like I have spent way too much time at night time on the internet looking at this stuff, but it's basically using a world that's already created. I mean, you can do similar things with pop culture magic, which is, you can use already developed worlds like the Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones. So it's really using that system to start practicing magic and to sort of use the systems creatively to create your own magic practice, alter these this world in your own astral and imagination, and really start to create your own narrative around the gaming system itself and using that system to make changes in your life. So, another way to do or to approach gaming magic is to combine the systems. So, there are a lot of elves, orcs, gnomes, very elemental species in the D&D system. So for me, what I could do if I wanted to be really creative is to start working with some of those characters, either by adopting a persona, playing that character, taking that character to the astral realm, writing stories just for myself based with that character, doing particular things in real world. So I could say that I am taking on the persona or character of an elf and put that character in modern times. How would that elf walk through the world? Like, how would I walk through the world with all the abilities that and spells and history that elf holds? How would I walk through this world? And then how would I walk through say, an astral world or an alternative world, which is really fun to explore. But in saying that too, like when you're merging that gaming system with your magical practice, you can be using things like Encyclopedia of Fairies. So, say your character is a gnome. Are there any particular mythological or historically documented gnomes? What is a gnome? What is your understanding of it? How would the mythology of these creatures play out in your own life? You know, are they're very well known as being tricksters? Where is the trickster energy in your life, and how can you utilize it in a a healthy way to make changes in your life? Maybe you need to have more fun. Maybe you need to try something different. Maybe you need to find a group of people who do bring out the more silly, mischievous side of yourself. So these are things that you can consider combining with those systems. Likewise, at the moment, I am using writing books and storytelling and story creating to sort of understand my own shadow self, the monsters that live in my like my psyche, and also for just general storytelling and having fun. You can look at any resources to combine with your practice. Again, dream work, astral travel. You guys know that I just live that. That's my job. That's what I do for a living. But yeah, you can combine that or ruins, tarot, any kind of magical system or idea or concept that you're currently using, you can combine with a game world to create a whole new experience, both physically, community wise, and spiritually, and creative wise. In the past couple of months, since I have been working with the magician archetype, as you all know, I'm working with the magician archetype, and this system and gaming systems, I have met some amazing people. I have challenged myself to really getting my mind around like maths, which is something that confuses me. But not being intimidated by systems that once scared me. I definitely know that when I was in my early 20s, I was really terrified that people would find me stupid because all these kind of nerdy geek guys I hung around with were always rabbiting on about stuff that I had no idea and could not understand. So it scared me, but even that in itself is a great way to explore gaming magic because you're building confidence in a different system that is not necessarily atypical. And this is one thing that I think is a draw to gaming magic is that it's combining two things that not a lot of people would think to put together, but enough people have to make it something that is truly magical in itself and can really bring the fun back into magic. I know that my magical practice can be very serious, especially when I'm working on healing things and recovery. And sometimes it can be really hard, and I forget that magic is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to bring joy into my life. It's supposed to really highlight the things that I really want to do with my life and give that energy. And I just love it. And I think that gaming is a fantastic way to enter that headspace, into that sacred space, and into that community space as well. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an understanding about what gaming magic means to me. And I'm going to be offering or sharing, I guess you can say, some exercises and journal prompts for you guys to use in case you are interested in getting into gaming magic, or if you're already playing a game. I don't really know too much about console games, so I'm not really great with that kind of stuff. I'll see if I can find some people who are, but I definitely am interested in RPG games, so I will leave you a link of a couple of RPG games that you might want to check out that I'm definitely interested in checking out as well as D&D. And yeah, so I hope that answers your question, witchy attitude, and I will be back next week. If you have any other questions that you would like to know about anything in particular, around gaming magic or just anything in general relating to magic, link them below, and I will chat